should be recording. Oh, okay. Hello, guys. Welcome back to my bedroom. Uh, so this time we are working on a little project in Raft, but I don't want you guys to get caught up in the logistic in the kind of nonsense here. But I want to just like get some kind of like a road time. 1 second. So this is very important. It's on a Rift macro system via Gecko lizard interfaces. Only lizards allowed. This is a free lizards initiative. No alligators, please. Only small lizards. Things that can't kill us. You know. But it's part of the freedom initiative, Sigi, to free all my lizards. I love lizards, guys. I'm a lizard fan. I like all the lizards that go, all the geckos, all the geckos and alligator, geckos and for now we do geckos and what? Only okay, let's say only geckos and axolotls. I love axolotls. They're beautiful. Any lizard that can't bite me, only those two for now. Only those two actually. Lizards, because it's about I don't care about the lizards. I don't care about lizards. But then there's these small lizards, these geckos, they're beautiful. They're beautiful in every shape and every form. So literally, this reform is for them, because it's so beautiful how it ties into the Rift philosophy. Rift is a flexible translator, but it's about exploring the nature of consciousness and what we are as conscious beings, what we experience, what we share, what we don't share. If I don't make this video, I'll be unhappy with myself. Uh, but that's the goal of ontology. So if you're really interested, you go to the here the Rift project or if you go to here Rift version. But it's basically room up. It's a project here, but it's not done. But we get the Rift repository, but it's not done. Basically, you get to this project, but you get read me. But this the founder of Forever in House Coco. Forever in our house. I put that there. It should be forever in our souls, guys. If I die and don't change that, see it to forever in our souls. And that's the policy now. That's respect the soul philosophy of what exists. R. So this R open. So this R open. This is like a rift open. Oh, this is like oh shit. That was open. This R underscore open. This is the open. This is like a command line interface open systems, but you open like a file. So when you download this repository, you open a file, but you open in some kind of file, and this file is like what an image file, because it's half complex, half log n, half space time. But you only open an image and you get a version of polarity. We're gonna do first. Tasks first. Things you all share that you have to do first. Things you don't share that you don't have to do first. It's basically when you so you get this this image, but this is the image file. This is not actually the Rift logo. This is just the are open. But when you read, you can write. When you write, you can read. But this is run state. But you get this program and you get a C equivalent of it. This is a license file. But what am I going with this? This is the program. So when you compile the C program, if not define del export silent the main but it's what the Rift layer does. It wraps against platforms. Rift token value to type polarity sequences. I was gonna make a video on this, but the red black node but BFC insert Rift prune. But it's just like how you use a binary to do size to Rift open. Boom. It's like a Rift open a file, but the file is chemicalized, so it's based on coding of matches like this can go to states here. Okay. Above this is just open up image file, but I'm gonna study layer. This is the shared library. This is the builder. This is the readme. Okay. Now, so you see this DLL. This is the Windows DLL. You can't really read it here. You have to download it. But what I'm saying is, you got this file you can run. This is dirty file. But this dirty file is the same file, but it's not broken. It's not really a work as intended. So it's the CD, which is like a C dirty file or like a dirty file that's an old file. Okay, what's my point today? My point today is gonna really show you how to compute over Rift. So basically, I've got the analogies here. So without further ado, let's get started. Ado. So this video is very important to understand because it's really about the philosophy of organization. No. So it's very about this one. So this picture here, it's a model of a states, consciousness states. So you get a 4 state of consciousness, but that's 4 to the power of 3. So we get a triad model for consciousness. One consciousness stable, so that'll be 4 to the power of 3 as well. 4 to the power of 3 is 4 to the power of 3, and that'll be 64. So we get 64 innumerable states of consciousness at one time. You are in 4 states at a time. So right now, the 4 states, maximum states of 43. Okay, there's 4 states at once, so you have 4 states minimum, a maximum at once. But those 4 states are topology, so you have anything. So if you have 4 states, you can do 64 things. That environment, you have similar parts of access. 4 things you can observe, look at, you're actually keeping track of, in real time. So you get 4 states of consciousness, get 64 things you're doing. Your brain is doing without you know it. Minimum. So you get 4 times 4 times 4. You get 4 plus basically 4 plus 4 plus 4. You get 4. That's 8, 12. 12 things minimum. Your brain does at all times, anytime you're given. Based on the dendrite model. A dendrite is 1 thing at a time. So anything it does, you can do that 1 thing at a time, but it takes infinite time. But it doesn't matter, it just gets it done. Because if it does 1 thing at any time, that's what dendrite does. So for us to be a dendrite, we need 4 to the power of 1, is 1 dimension of time. 4 times the power of 3. Which is 16, that's 64, and this is the 4 thing at one time would be the space is the 4, if it's a space, this would be 64 centimeters, 64 cubed, 54 cubed, this is for 64, for the notices we do at a time, any time we can do at a time, but it's 4 things we can do at any space, we can be in any space, it's 4 spaces, so actually dimensions, the 4 dimensions, okay, the 4 spaces dimensions, local dimensions, okay, look, I'll come back to that later. But I want you guys to really think about this problem instead. So, this for the problem here. So you see this pie chart? It's very important you look at this pie chart because these are the things we can all share as geckos. The geckos share an entire dimension. We share a dimension, and the geckos, the astronauts share a dimension. But we get the geckos. They share our dimension, but they can go underwater. You have these are called big lizards or small lizards. The most small lizards can go. We can put our house in that water, but it's like a little thing. So we can put our house in the water, but we can see everything. You can feel things there, but get information there. But I can feel everything around the bucket of the water because it doesn't matter if it's a dirty bucket or not. If to find stuff, to know stuff, because my hand is a sensing device. But the geckos are there in the water. They can go there in the physical form, and the skin can pick it up. They don't. They can pick up all the information. What else to clean out the water to find something that we need, whether it's sweet or sugar. For example, we can find sugar here, and it's looking for sugar, the sugar in there. So we got a sugar cane plantation in Nigeria. So we use an example here. So the sugar, this is Noxus. For prostate, there's all castor sugar is banned, all white sugar is banned, all kind of sugar. This kind of sugar I only want to eat. See my country, prostitution. If I see the one sugar, to find out, we'll start investigation. We'll kill, destroy what's good. This is the amount of sugar. Nothing artificial, because this is gonna kill our environment. So all the sugar, anything sweet that comes from the earth should stay natural. Should not be manufactured. There's a policy now. This is brown sugar. So this one, this is what I want as a default thing. Because I prefer brown sugar to white sugar. It's my constitution. So I'm gonna run my business. There should never be a white sugar. This is white sugar. We'll take it out. If the salt, we'll make it brown. So if there's anything, make it brown because it's brown people. So that's the person I'll go for. I'll do that both of you. This is French sugar. This is very French. I love it. Yeah, I love it because it's good for the body and it's healthy. But it tastes good as it is. As brown it is. Okay. So literally, I'm trying to give you what I'm doing here. So, say you have a duck, and it's rains, and you get a duck and it's another room. You get a duck and what? On water. But that duck is rubber duck. Now, my brother or someone else I know has a duck. But that duck is real duck. But because someone afar has a duck. My duck, what? Quacks. But only when I squeeze it. It's a rubber duck. Now, my duck quacks because I squeeze it. Now, if that duck is mine, it's a toy. But it's not a real duck. So I can't squeeze that duck. I'm not allowed to touch UK ducks. So, or geese for that matter, UK geeses, or ducks, because it's a violation of the rights. But this rubber duck can squeeze it. But how does it quack? You squeeze it. You squeeze. So duck does squeeze, quack. Not duck quack. Because you cannot get the duck to quack by itself. To get the duck to quack, you have to squeeze it. You can squeeze it hard if it's a rubber duck, but never squeeze a real duck because it's not allowed to do that. You can do that, but you have to go through some consent with it. So that's the idea. So if a duck is a universe, duck sits on water, but when you squeeze a duck, it quacks. A duck can quack, can always quack. But you don't tell the duck to quack. Because the dog can't hear you say quack. Can't interpret your quack as something that's meaningful. It doesn't align with duck behavior. Well, because you're not a duck. My point is, a rubber duck versus and real duck. There are two ducks. Yes, they are ducks, but they are verb nouns. So rubber is a verb describing a duck, but it's a noun because it's rubber. It's rubber material, but it's a magic something that's not real because it's not real enough to be actual. So the verb, the doing word, the quacking. Sorry, the quacking. So verb quack, doing rubber quack or duck quack. Boom. So the verb can quack. So it's an access basically. Get access of quacking. Duck can but consider quacking. You get the duck to quack. Duck the quack. Quack quack quack. Because you're speaking the language, communicating. What else? The verb they're doing what? To do, to quack. Simple verb, to do, to act, to behave, to be built, to create, to respond. Basically get the so get the messages here. To repair, I am repairing. If I'm in a state of repairing, I am repairing. If I'm in a state of renewing, I am renewed. To renew, I am renewed. If I'm in a state of rebuilding, I am building or rebuilding. If I'm in a state of breaking, I'm breaking. If I'm in a state of creating, I'm into creating. If I'm in a state of destroying, there's some kind of correlation of that based on the quantum system. So you can know something ahead of time before you ever see it happen. So that's what I'm saying. It's like so a read is a write. Because read, if you can read, you can read a kind of Bible, you can write to it. If you can write some kind of Bible to make it execute it. If you can execute it, you can write to it, and vice versa. That's what I'm saying here. So it's actionable. It's basically so. If I'm reading something twice, what I've already written to it, because if I'm reading something once, I've read it to it. If I'm reading something twice, I can then this is an implicit right pressure until I execute right directly and say, oh yes, this is a right state. I'm gonna enter, but computer will pre-processing a right if you need to write something to memory disk. But the problem here is that the two right reads equals one right, but one right two rights equals one and vice versa. Two rights equals one read. But that's be buffered. So that's why you have like a up, down, left, right, A, B, start, A, B, start. Is this canonical? Oh, X, Y, A, B, start. Because if I have this as a tree, that would be up, down. What am I rushing? Up, down, left, right, A, B, X, Y, A, B, start. And that'll be for when you get it up, you get it down. When you get it up, you get it down. When you get it down, you get it up. Get it up. When you get down, you get up. You get a left and right, left and right, left and right, or right and left. When you get to right and left, you get a right and left. You get opposite, which is a left and right, left and right. When you get left and right, you get a right and left. When you get to left, you get an AB. AB, and then if you get an AB, you get a BA. When you get BA, you get when you get a left and right. When you get BA, you get an start. I used to start. Now this is the signal, yeah, but because start BA, I used to be a start signal. So basically, we use to start up your buffer, right? Last buffer system because the information is executed in real time, but it doesn't know it's on the fly JSON compliance. So basically, this inputs are inputs to the system that you're building them because you're trying to build it for reflection of the system. So Lagrange transformation, Lagrange lasses. What is that? Lagrange. Okay. Lagrange. So basically, when you have like so example, when you have like a symbol called an L, that L is like what people call a Hamiltonian system, but your one is on the fly, so you don't use Hamiltonian, you use Eulerian. So basically, your Lagrange sequence, Lagrange is a symbol like the L you see like in quantum physics. That thing looks like an L, it's called a Lagrange. I never know what that is, but I know it's in my way. So the Hamiltonian resolution is what top down, bottom up, but that's where you should focus. It's top down. It's a top down parser. Top down parser. You just Cisco, so it reasons a series, and those are sequences of instructions. But they are opposites. Various for a few series. So it doesn't matter what problem you're trying to solve here, Namdi. So the problem you're trying to solve now is very important because it maps all the way to your consciousness and who you are. Oh, so I was still on me yesterday, Namdi. I didn't say it. So because I had to do it properly. So see this image, this is a glue one. Sorry. This is a quark. A quark is right polarized. A proton is what you observe. A Higgs is there in the quantum state as a wave, as a stable wave, as a stable wave. And you get a neutron as a stable function. You get a neutron, the same thing as I get gluon, a quark, a proton, a quark, a gluon, glues everything together. But a Higgs boson is a state of gluon and a proton. Gluon and a neutron. A quark is going right, going south south. What is a Higgs? What is the other one? Gluon is going opposite because it glues to stuff. So this is right. This is what you see. So this is what I'm gonna give you guys. So it's about observing the polarity of a system and literally observing this kind of state. Because they are. So if you see this kind of north north, northeast, north, 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 east, 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 south, 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 and west, 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 west. What's the power 4? Because it's 4 units, so it's this is just one polarity factor. Because north, 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 north represents the quark spin. So if it spins in this position, it's a quark. All the time. It's a quark state. A quark, it's quark function. As you can reach a quark process. If it's been easy, because we've got to like what it's very important to understand this, because you're doing it properly now. So you go easy, you get to what. So if it's going east, fully east. If it goes east then north, what is it? It's either it's a gluon. If it goes northeast, so she has 2 states, north and east. What is it? It's a what? Northeast. It's a quark. But also quark is what? A quark is going east and what? What is north? Going north? What? Is going away from it. That is what? Opposite of a proton. It's not a neutron. It's not a Higgs. It's not a gluon. Basically, if it's going away from me, if it's going north, it's going away from me. But if it's going quark, if the quark is going right, straight to right. So if it's going east, it's going to east. What? It's a quark state. Quark state. If it does first. But if it's going north, it's opposite of me. That means it's a neutrino. No, it's not a neutrino. It's not Higgs. No. Whatever's going north is like the Higgs boson. It's what is it? A quark gluon. Elementary particles. Basically, it's a quark. So basically, you're trying to compute this as what? It's not a quark. Basically it's an antiphoton. It's basically in the state of an anti. It doesn't want to be in the state of a photon, so it's an antiphoton. So that's why it's called. So because it's going away, that means you're measuring something that's not there. Because it's going away, it's like basically it's going to crunch you. It's antiphoton. So antiphoton. What is that called? Do antiphoton? Yes. Basically anything that's doesn't want to be in a state of a photon is an antiphoton, because it doesn't want to have the properties of a photon, and that's why it is matter. So all antiphotons exist because they means the opposite universe. So if we're experiencing redshift, things we can't see, but that redshift gives some light on the other end. That's a white hole. So when you enter a black hole, you come out a white hole. That means you are being crushed because basically that means antiphoton. Basically, I'm trying to give you basically the thing. Don't say like we get a photon, you get an antiphoton, so you get the model of light and also, but they don't have conjugate equation. They have something they have to do because if you get a photon and a wave, a wave and a state of a wave, you get something what an antiphoton. Because they do exist in parallel, but you get to measure light. This is me shining light and not seeing nothing and seeing black. Because my black, but another end is light. Because it has a crunching, just to like what I'm saying to you guys. So it's all there in the system if you want to compute over them. So if you have a quark, you have an anti-quark, but something doesn't want to be a quark. So quark is going what? North. So that would be a gluon. But if I'm from a quark and I'm seeing a gluon, so I won't be seeing a full gluon because the glue is not sorry. The gluon is the stable one that glues everything together. So what's the quark is an anti-quark. So an anti-quark is just the same thing. It's the opposite of a quark, but it's the same property behavior. So I'm saying it's opposite in conjugate inverse. So if you have a quark, you have something that you can measure east-east. Sorry, I don't want to fuck it up because no, I love this. So if it's east, you go make it a quark. So it's kind of like raw, but you know the quark is like going east only. So if it has east and you have minus east, so the quark will see minus east, but you know we will see the glue one. Oh no, sorry, the opposite of east, which is the you know sometimes the opposite, going opposite way of the east, which is an anti-quark. But that anti-quark is what they see, because that's what they observe fully. Basically what they can see, small, but we can see it fully, because we can, you know, see we have the because you know, we are the protons. We are polarized from the light. So we see light, not when at light at the end of the tunnel. At the end of the tunnel. Because you that's when you get light at the end. So if you think of a tunnel system, you get, you know, if one is a tunnel, you go when you go to the quark end, you have like a quark, and the quark is like the thin end. So because I love the tunnel because it's like you get auto dark, and that's why I'm going to. But if you keep going down a tunnel, you have some kind of turn. You know, you can polarize yourself with a quark. You know, with a quark spin because the quark is only going east. But you know, our end of the tunnel is north. So north we get what light, but it works in different ways. So in different way. So that's what I'm trying to use KVS because you know you get two properties, two ways you can do it. So if you really know what you're doing, so you are understanding this properly. But I guess I don't understand the form etymology, but I'm telling you that's what it is in my framework. So you get answer glue one things that don't want to be glued. You get a glue on things that we can glue and don't glue. We get an neutrino things that are state, but they can be solid, can be firm, like a fence. They obey gravity. They work on mass, but you know the mass is neutrinos. They work on mass to behavior. They have work, they have data. They have input, but the data is smart data. But the neutrinos work on and they get his book. It's just waves, propagates as waves. So his book is only wave because they're very stable. Like the wave field around us, electromagnetic wave spectrum. So the neutrinos have the equivalent in mass. You know the mass, the way you can quantify them, and that's the proton. So they're both, you know, they work together. So that's the part. Basically, there's no gravity, there's no graviton, because that would mean we have only one model of gravity, and the whole world is unstable. You know, that's why I hate that. So those graviton, no should put graviton in my field of their review ever again. Because it doesn't make sense on the XY axis, on the dimensions of exist. See, it doesn't make any sense. You know, you break a whole standard model of physics because you know you're measuring everything and nothing. Everything that should be nothing. You have in the quantum field theory realm as a policy now. So you get a Lagrange transformation, which is phi. See this phi? This phi can be 0, 1, or instead of the q is 0, 0, 1. But it can be the state of 0 and 1 to phi, so it can be a one state at any time. Usually, you have all the space and time in the world to compute, but you know you can't only compute at a local space and time. So that means either one space or one time to get your result out. But you know this can be 11 dimensional hub. So the goal here is to pivot to come with the look. I'm not gonna talk about this. We talked about this yesterday. No, I haven't talked about this. So that is a union disjoint and epsilon state, which is the imaginary numbers one, minus one, and our shared imaginary units. This we don't know yet. Our shared units of things we know and we don't know, which is imaginary numbers over a complex plane. What we know or don't know, what we don't want to know, we know, what we all share, what we don't never know, because you know we don't know what we're computing. We compute because it's tomographic layers of encoding. But you know, I'm gonna talk about literally this. I'm not gonna do quantum physics today. I'm just like trying to explain to you my model of it. Essentially, because so you got a signal and the signal wave your light because it's the wave of signal. But I don't. So basically, I was showing this to myself last time, but you know, stuff you can see. It's not really because you just because you know you have half a spin. What's my paper? So this thing is quantum physics basically. So you see this, Namdi? Do not ever forget it. So you see this duck, it sits on water, but that is its own medium, air. So if it sits on water, it sits on ground. So that's the medium. So the medium is water. So a duck can live on water. Indefinitely, you know, because that's where it can go. That's where it's chilling. So it's a chill duck on water. No matter if it's a tsunami, you can get it. But we are trying to project downwards onto the earth. So why into the water? Because that's where we are foundations are. So this is still on its foundation, but it's is liquid. But our foundation is land, so we are land dwelling. But you know. We're trying to go to our foundation of the Earth, and this is like an accelerator. So you see this accelerator gets one Gakko, one accelerator, and this accelerator is like so what actually represents in this picture is our dimension, but we're measuring from the other end. of the channel. So we can, well, what the channel can send us, we can get it, understand it. That's where the actual lives. Because it's white. It's like, it's not white. It's like transparent and translucent, and it's really in that dimension of space and time to observe that light. It's already at the end of the tunnel, and we've got the geckos which are on land, but they can go on the water, and they're fine, but they can't go. Can go and get everything on the water. The actually can do as a policy because they are blizzards, at least the small lizards, and they're able to see everything that's already in there. But the problem is they can only do it for a short period of time, half the time, because they have all the space to do it, but they don't have all the time. Because if I can make sure you should go, or so you can listen outside, if I can see a lizard, this is doing the thing, I don't want this to die, so I have to come up for air, so I can give it food and water, sugar, can be there indefinitely. So that's the idea. Because I'm giving this a model of quantum physics, is it? Because it doesn't matter because it matters because that's where the lizards are. The lizards are there. There's like a geckos in Nigeria. My geckos, and what I love, they're not pets. They're there. They're all geckos. Whether actually not, but they behave there because they can club walls. Because like crab walls, they're up and down as walls. So their axis of y, my concept of down, is just falling to ground. But their concept of down is transcending and going through my ground to water. And that one is clean and then so you can never be killing the robots and killing them as a policy. They also have the tails. Keep saying that should be very good way because that's the policy now. The killing lizards is the policy. So the geckos are there because I want to ensure that geckos are protected by the rights and the environment because they are usually geckos to experiment to transcend into a descent. Instead of bit to transcend into our reality, so we can measure all the instruments, using the instruments, because they're actually instruments of our reality. No matter the gecko, because I love the excellence, because you're trying to get access to do it too. What else? So it's very good to understand this because the duck is like no matter if you get a duck, the duck behaves like a quack. Do I squeeze? Do I have to act on the duck to get it to quack, or do I have to just scream at it? Use what kind of a protocol is in there to talk to the duck to get them to do some action. But the the medium is there. The medium of communication is why I'm giving this. We've been on the business. I can be here. I can be on the duck, sitting on my duck, and just measuring the verbal duck. But I have to be sure that my astronauts can get to the surface. Like in the duck surface, like me on the surface here in my duck ship. So I'll be there stable and wait for them, giving them food here, and they can go there and be there, which is another dimension, another active dimension. You can observe the actions. What am I saying, really? I do sound crazy, but I don't know I'm not crazy. What am I saying, really? So you get a one times a one. So you get three numbers. You get things we all know, and I don't know. I don't know. I know. I don't know. You know, and I don't know. I know, and I don't know. And we all share. We all know, and we all know don't know. We all know things we all don't know. Because I speak in space and time, remember. So each animal, me being here, can see what I know and I can share with what I don't know and with a gecko and with the two geckos because they're both equity. We're all equity. What does it look like in the model? So we are a tomography system. So example, this is like the axis of XYZ. But it's like a color wheel. But you get RGB, RGB, red, green, blue. So when I see red, when I see red shift, that's because my gecko is ascending. But my gecko is ascending to what? The green shift. So red is what I see when my gecko red shift. When my gecko moves away from me, in my descent, and this is what blue. So that's kind of a color model there. But then we both see what red, green. Also, so basically, I see red. He sees green, and we both see blue. But this blue is philological because we can measure blue because we're going away. Because that's the policy now. So it's basically make sure that we are seeing the same thing, observing the same reality. And when we are observing both blue, from our angles, we are observing the same state of being. Which I made an analogy. So red, if I measure red, he's measuring blue. If it's moving away, if it's moving to it, he's measuring the opposite. Basically, what's coming basically, the opposite of red is what's coming in. Based on electron. Richard of York gave battle in vain. My red is there, and his red will be his red. So when you get two red, you get wait, you don't get two reds. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Get basically we share red space. Let me try to give you now because I don't want to fuck this up, Daddy. So many effects. So we share RR R plus RGB. RGB. So two reds you make one green. One green and one red you make one blue. So two reds. R plus G is RG. And then G times D is G2G. And then G times GB. And then B times blue GB BR. And then GB and then B 2B. So this is the matrix here. It's the kind of matrix, redshift. It's gonna basically if we implode, we get a big crunch because because space around us and we implode. That's how universe models will get half of dimension that was nothing and everything. Basically we don't get a big bang. So before we can explode from something, we have to crunch our dimension. Basically we have to implode. But implode means you have to halve the space. Basically you have to like share a full space. So if two dimensions exist already, for this to actually work, we have to halve our dimension, half our space and time. And thus we have space and time continuums because we have a space and time. So if I have half a space, half plus half, we share a quarter space. And then we half times half. We then get half times half. We get half plus half goes one full one, and half times we get a shift of one half, and then one quarter, one half, one quarter, one half, one quarter, one half. Basically, we just get one full one, two full halves, and which is a quarter equals to one. To get 2-to-1 mapping for tomography measurement based on sequence of Fourier transforms, which are digital waves that represent algo sequences. So to go it down is just to give you the final one. So get this model I equals the third when you get I equals square root of negative I that would be like a measurement of one signal one unit signal and get I squared equals negative I. So when you get I squared you get a third which is going to divide it. So I imagine my original number is your square root, your irrational negative I, and it's measurable by you as I, vice versa. And if I go I squared, if I have an area of if you have an area to my view, I'm measuring just one unit of it, and that's negative I, and then we get negative I cubed equals I squared plus I, and that equals to I times I equals -1. So we share a -1 space of to the power of -3, and -3, because there's if you measure for the accelerator, it's really gecko and accelerator, which are just lizards. So no matter how the system works, you have an area you can measure, and this is a tree model. So now take a picture of this. Now let's see if we can get it, because this is why MMUKO exists matters. You get I cubed, so that'll be I times I. But that's I times I is negative. So you get this model here. So you get a tree. So that'll be negative I squared plus I squared. That'll be I squared or minus I squared. That'll be you get I times I. So this is wrong. So this guy get negative I to negative I. That'll be this guy don't get I squared. That'll be I squared will be what? Go up. Yes, you get I squared will be what? This number. That's the third. So you get square root of square root will just be. So that'll be all squared. That's the idea that. So what share something we all know. Don't know at the time. Example. Very important that we follow this number. So the radius is 0.5. So we share a radius of 0.5. So if the pi is 3.1454, 3 pi is to 15 decimal places, we can get half of pi r squared divided by 360 is the area we will share in space time, the nothing of everything that we can all be in, and measure based on our RGB color model. So that will be half of pi times pi r squared, and that'll be in the imaginary one. Basically, on my natural number, I get 9.8. So half of it will be sorry. So basically, I get so I'm just doing it right now. So I'm doing a calculator right now because if I make a mistake, I get it. So if I get the five times pi, that'll be squared That's gonna be the pi that'll be 2.467 2.46740100272339654707 and then we divide by what? Divide because the 15 is one place because 5, 10, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Look, 7. That'll be divided by 360 because there's 360 areas. But this will give me a segment size of 0.00685389189452009 and we all share that space of knowing between me and this is my natural number, but no, this natural number means it's the imaginary number is what in the opposite sense. It's basically it gets the imaginary number for this natural number in their view, but it's always able to RGB color value. So the project name here is to model this RGB spectrum as what as a language model. So we can speak to the computer, and the computer can create an image or paint your picture by your waveform. That's the project riff. So I'm going to try to get a C library, try to write basically include riff tests in the standard C library because you can include it. So I can write model my language in CBD, Igbo as a English as a dimension XYZ. So when I speak to my computer in a C app for Windows or for all systems, so I can speak to my computer and I can tell a story, a vivid story via mosaic memory system. So the goal is the mosaic memory system. Remember to play the video back to you. Whatever you say to it, you describe it to you. Whatever you say to it, you create a waveform of it, a representation of it, whether it's real or not, based on whatever you said for life. So you can form your thoughts and your consciousness in the force. You can imagine what you say to people, and what you mean to people is never obfuscated because you got a digital waveform of it without any injection. Thank you guys. That's what I'm trying to do. So the Rift is a flexible type of R syntax. Basically, gonna match all my XYZ grammar tomographically to some of waveform sample my voice, so I can tell a story in my head while I sleep, so I can be the story writer of my voice. So that'll be color coded with RGB. Example, the dimensional based on the pi model of 360. So it will literally allow me to communicate with people that can't understand my inner workings. Thank you guys. That'll be so. Everyone, this is my first Rift app, and this is my first Rift app. This will be my mosaic memory app because it allows me to speak words and sing songs. Anything I want to. Formalize, I can give formal definitions and camera relations to people's souls and tell my story vividly. It's an app I'm going to try to make because the Rift project is very important to grow the founders. It's about expressing the reality of real people, real people. Because if actually then what's not the dimension to say here? So basically that's the goal there. That's the goal there. This is the project here. So this is shell scripts. You guys just run the shift script with GCC. Okay, thank you guys. This R this just opens a file, but it's basically a FedEx system because I read something, I speak my truth, my reality, and I get a story, and I use that story to tell a picture, paint a picture, and the picture will paint in real time as a speaking system. There's nobody undoing because if you do, you're fragmenting your English. You can develop new language protocols. That's what I made it to build for Rift. Dimensional mosaic visualizer via descriptions of authentic realities via authentic expression as a protocol. Thank you guys.